When an emergency happens at work, the difference between chaos and control often comes down to one thing: preparation. That's where our next guest comes in. Rhinox Research Group is a Louisville-based readiness partner helping local organizations train their teams for real-world crisis before they ever happen. Here with more is the founder and CEO. We've got Aaron in the GDL studio today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You know, we talked just before we got live here. You actually have a military background.
Yes.
You started this company 6 years ago, during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, you know, taking all of that military experience, why did you want to create Rhinox?
So throughout my military experience, as in the Air Force, I was MP. We call it security forces. So law is just kind of my bread and butter. It's what I did. And I see what happens when we step outside of the law. And once I got out of the military, I couldn't let that mission go. So I wanted to continue my mission. So Rhinox Research Group is the vehicle that I use to continue my service to my country, to my community, and to my city by preparing teams, upskilling those workforce places so that they can be prepared for any emergency. Those things that we don't think about. Yeah,
and you know, you're not, ever put in that situation until it actually happens.
Correct.
So what are some of the skills that you're teaching these organizations?
So the three big skills. Our most popular is de-escalation. Every public-facing company, organization needs the ability to have stamina and courage in the midst of conflict. And then I also do active shooter training. And then one of the things that we are doing a lot of is the first aid training through the American Red Cross so that individuals know how to respond, give CPR, and apply an AED.
Yeah, which are truly life-saving skills. It doesn't just necessarily need it in the workplace, but also just in everyday life. I mean, you could be at a grocery store, you could be at a shopping mall, and you could jump into action and truly save a life. And so who all do you really serve?
So we serve all organizations. There's not a single organization, whether it be a nonprofit, religious organizations, for-profit, even government organizations that we've trained recently, that doesn't need the ability for their team to respond under pressure.
And so what do you think makes Rhinox different from other training services in the area?
So we focus on instructor-led, hands-on training that allows for feedback so that your staff, they get to ask those critical questions that are in the back of their mind that we're all thinking about, but sometimes we don't get to ask, especially if we're doing like computer-based training. So having an expert on the ground that you can talk to really makes a difference in how people retain that information. Yeah,
so important. We're looking at some great graphics right now. And again, you don't know when that incident's going to hit.
Correct.
And so having that preparedness, being ready for those situations, what kind of feedback have you received from the organizations that you've helped?
So one of the organizations that I'll mention is Zolar Pump Company. They had an individual that had a medical emergency in the middle of the day. 3 of the 4 responders to that emergency that provided CPR, got the AED, called for medical. Those individuals were trained by Rhinox Research Group prior to the incident. Kudos to Eric Keeneling over there, their security director, for having that training in place beforehand, because what we don't want to do is have something happen and then we're scrambling to figure out what to do. We want to be prepared and not panicked.
Well, and that's something that no one can take away from you either, is that preparedness. You want to be ready for any situation. And when those situations arise, you don't want to cause more chaos to it, right? You want to be calm. You want to just take action and, get the job done safely, of course. So something that is actually really interesting about your company is that you are sponsoring a photo contest. We have a graphic up right now. You are a sponsor of our live drive contest. We have this news vehicle that will be out and about in the area. There's a picture of it right there. If our viewers are in the area, they see the live drive, they can take a picture of it and they can submit it to our WHAS 11 contest page for a chance to win a $100 gas card, which is amazing because these gas prices are astronomical right now, it seems. So we appreciate your sponsorship for that.
Course.
But if people are interested in getting connected with you, learning more about your company, getting prepared themselves, how can they do that?
So leaders who are ready to get their teams trained can visit us at rhinoxrg.com.
All right, making it so easy for people. And again, getting prepared so then when those situations arise, you know exactly what to do. So it was a pleasure meeting you, Aaron. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All right, to learn more, you can head over to their website, rhinoxrg.com.